Welcome back to NerdVine, where we're loving some good underdog grapes with the main character energy. I'm trying to share with this PowerPoint, and Zoom has changed the way it shares, so whatever. Today we're diving into Xinomavro, which is Xinomavro, and it literally means sour or acidic black. So sour, black, bold, let's rock and roll. Is this gonna let me? Yay, okay, all right. So the agenda. What is Xinomavro? Where does it grow? Kind of the profile about it, like what does it taste like? Other wines to try if you like it. Food pairings for it. I actually might have the pairings and the other wines swapped in the presentation itself, but that's fine. And then some miscellaneous fun facts, and of course, I like to leave myself time to remember the things that I might have forgotten. So, because the sharing is different, you can see maybe there's like a little green mark where Greece is and Macedonia. I'm very thrown by this screen sharing, but because the screen sharing is different, I'm going to stop sharing and we're gonna go to Google Earth. Aren't you so excited that our trips to Google Earth are back? Okay, hang on. Neat. Okay, I think that worked. Okay, so we are going to, I was kind of giving it away already. So we're gonna head to Macedonia, Greece. So we're floating around the globe. Ooh, that was actually pretty good. Okay, so as we have discussed, wine is grown between the 30th and 50th parallels, both north and south. And so we are looking at right around the 41st parallel. So kind of right smack in the middle of the growable region. We'll talk a little bit about the climate on the next slide. Hi, little buddy. Amos is here to help. But I just wanted to give you kind of a general idea of where in the world we actually are. So now let's see if I can stop sharing this one and go back to sharing the PowerPoints. This is super fun and I'm really good at it. Hi, little baby. Okay, all right. So moving forward with our discussion of climates. Go forward. Okay, cool. So Xinomavro is a high acid, high tannin red grape grown mostly in like northern Greece, especially around, I believe it's Nausa and then Amindion. I'm so sorry. I should have looked up how to pronounce these words before. But anyway, think super hot, dry summers, nice, cold, snowy winters, and elevation to kind of like keep things balanced. We've talked about elevation before. This is not like the beachy Greek islands you see in movies and postcards and everything. This is like mountain wine country. And then a bonus fact, I have a link to Wine Sip at the end of the video. But this region gets like a lot of sunshine, and it is that like nighttime coolness then and obviously the elevation that kind of like keeps things like bright with the acid and lots of structure. And then as you saw, it is a little more inland. We're not in the islands right now. So let's talk about the structure. I mentioned this is high tannin. These are thick-skinned grapes. The acid also very high. And then because we end up with medium body, we're looking at a medium plus to full-bodied wine. So very bold. I wouldn't necessarily say it's like overpowering or overwhelming, but mine has been decanting for about an hour and a half. And I would say to start, this might be kind of like a food wine. It's often compared to Nebbiolo, and like, I mean, it also has serious aging potential. We've talked about fat red wine. So fruit, acid, tannin, this has them all. Now let's talk about those fruits. So the flavor profile, primary, you're going to get like black and red fruits. So we're looking at cherries, raspberries, plums. Some people say like even plum sauce. Then we get into the secondary flavors, which is your baking spices, your anise, your allspice, maybe a little bit of tobacco. And then tertiary, because it can age, we're looking at dried. So like dried herbs, dried figs, dried prunes. And then depending on like how aged and where in the country you're getting it, sometimes it can get a little bit savory, so think like a little bit of tomato paste or olive tapenade. I know it sounds weird, but like once you start loving that kind of wine, if you know, you know, as the kids probably don't say anymore. Okay, as promised, the pairing actually comes after, or the pairing comes before the wines you might like, which I think I messed up in the agenda. But obviously, we're going to put Xinomavro with our classic Mediterranean delights. So think of like moussaka, souvlaki, spanakopita. Pita. Again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing any of these correctly. That's how I Americanize them. tomato-based dishes, so think lasagna, pizza, probably moussaka again, koftes, and then lamb, lots of lamb dishes, other fatty meats like beef stew. And then, of course, for my non-meat eaters, I don't want to leave you out. So mushroom dishes, earthy grain dishes, and then like salty olives, salty feta. We get into hard cheeses like aged manchego. And then for your charcuterie boards, if you do have your meat-eating friends over, think prosciutto, salami. Actually, duck pate would probably be pretty good. Basically, like if you need it in Greece, because Mavro's gonna pair with it. So, what grows together goes together. We've talked about that before also. Now we'll talk about if you like. So if you like Nebbiolo, that's pretty much a given. And then also Sangiovese and Menthea. If you're like spiritually aligning with any of those, try the Xinomavro. Nebbiolo is going to have similar red fruits, especially the cherries, and then some anise. A little bit of earthiness will come more for like a leather or a clay pot type of thing. Actually, I was just teaching an Italy class, and we had a Sangiovese where there was a distinctive like a terracotta pot, and that's what this will taste like, as well as those same cherries, and then maybe a little bit of tomato or tomato leaf. That happens a lot in Sangiovese. And that's going to be similar to the Xinomavro, but Sangiovese's herbal flavors to me come in more of like an oregano type thing, which maybe, what grows together goes together. And then I often get the more of like a coffee espresso instead of the tobacco that you get in the casino. I'm definitely liking this to Menthea, and of course you should go check out the Menthea video from last summer because I'm obsessed. And we're also gonna have the cherry, the licorice anisey, but then I believe with the Menthea we had like a little bit of gravel and maybe some pomegranate. Structure-wise, the Sangiovese and the Nebbiolo are definitely still gonna be lots of high. We'll soften a little bit with the Menthea, but like, don't let me fool you. This isn't a weak grape. It's just slightly softer than these big, powerful grapes. I would say also check out Alianico. Um, I know this, oh, I don't have my thing telling me where I'm pointing anymore. I believe it's Ayoyitico. I don't think you pronounce the G's like you want to pronounce them. However you pronounce it, your wine shop should be able to help. And that's also another awesome Greek grape. And then, of course, Tempranillo is probably my last one that I would throw into the mix. These are all super great wines if you're looking for complexity, structure, and, maybe a little bit of attitude. Fun facts, you can use Xinomavro for rosés and sparklings, particularly in a region called, I think, Amindion. I'm, again, probably getting that a little incorrect. Other fun fact, there's also another Nausa. It's on the Aegean island of Paros, and I originally had pulled all of the climate for that before, how do I go back? Before I realized I was in the wrong place. So, not the same. One of them is an Aegean island and one of them is north. So very different. Blending can help you kind of like ease into this wine. It is bold, it is complex. I believe they do some blending with Merlot to kind of like bring a little more fruit and a little less tannin into it. But if you're looking for an indigenous blend, look for Negoska blends because that is another Greek grape. And then we've talked about Kvevries for Georgia. These amphorae are just kind of like taller and skinnier versions of those same clay pots. I need to do a little more research. I'm not sure if they put them underground like they do with the Kvevri. We'll skip that embarrassing moment. And now we roll the credits. So the Wine Sip Club, I pulled a bunch from there. It's a super interesting article. I'll definitely include it in the video description. Obviously, I referenced the Wine Bible when I was looking at all of this. ClimateData.org, I have to credit them. It's really what I used for the other one, but like it is really interesting if you're trying to find out more of the climatic qualities of wherever. The Wine Searcher, I read the whole thing. I don't know if I pulled anything specifically from it, but I included them in my research, and there's probably some others that I forgot about. So I wanted to keep things, relatively short as we ease back in. So this is a nice quick video. So thanks for nerding out with me. This does conclude our little venture with Xinomavro, which I guess is kind of like, I'm trying to think of a metaphor for it. It's like working out in the gym while reading Sappho and philosophy. Anyway, whatever. I don't know. I'm really tired. I probably should drink this wine and go to sleep. I have no idea what the next episode will be, in part because I think I'm going out of town for work, but I'm not sure because in typical fashion, none of the travel stuff has been confirmed yet. So we could end up just at the airport in the lounge with me trying to make a video and not be super socially anxious about making videos in public. But also on the list, I do have a Trebbiano Malvasia blend from Uruguay, a GSM that was made in Sierra Nevada. Both of those I got from a little wine shop, local. We won them at a wine dinner. I definitely want to go check out the actual shop. And then, of course, I went to Wegmans, the grocery store, and picked up an organic Merlot from Italy and a Petit Pinotage by Ken Forrester, who we had some of his Chenin from South Africa, and it was amazing. And there was a whole long story about it, so we could dive into that. Um, for the next video, again, I'm not sure because it might end up in an airport, but for all the videos after that, what is everyone interested in knowing? Because I'm happy to do videos on any of these. So that is it. We will now if I stop the sharing. No, if I stop the sharing, I'm still recording. Okay, cool, cool. So we're gonna have a little bit of ours. Let me grab the bottle so you can see, so you can see what it is. So this is the Xinomavro Young Vines. I'm not even gonna, ooh, where's the camera? I'm not even going to try to pronounce the rest of it, but this is the one I'm having. I've definitely seen this online. I got this from a nice wine shop down the street. Comes from Macedonia. Oh, that color's amazing. I don't know if the camera's really catching it. I mean, it's a 2021, but it feels like it has age on it. Oh, that's nice. I should have gone back to the PowerPoint. I mean, I can look at it. I can cheat. To see what we're looking for. All right, let's see what we're looking for. Oh no, I can't go back. Okay, so we're looking for those black and red fruits. I think I'm having allergies. Cherries. I don't get the raspberries as much. I almost get like a cranberry, which, plums for sure. Am I hallucinating violets? It might be because I was smelling flowers earlier. Let's do some retronasal breathing. Mm. Oh, those are some grippy tannins and acid. It's great when the profile matches. That's okay. I get the raspberries on the retronasal breathing on the finish. I'm getting a lot of other red fruits, but I need to get back into wine tasting myself. I've been a little lax. I'm drinking a lot of curious elixirs because I've just been so tired. I know. Wow, first world problems. This is another fun one that I like to do with people. As you are taking your sip, also take a nice inhale. And a lot of times I get flavors when I do that. So I get a little more of the dried and candied fruits when I'm doing that. So it's kind of like I get a lot of candied cherry when I do that, like the cherries that you get in fruitcake. Yes, I've eaten fruitcake. That's just really nice. I could probably analyze this a little more, but again, I wanted to keep this one pretty short. Hopefully the cats didn't turn off my microphone or anything because I haven't used the computer to record videos in quite some time. But I hope this was fun, and I'm excited to be doing this again. I hope you guys are excited to be doing this again, and I will see you next time for whatever it is we're going to talk about. Cheers.